You are listening to the Horse Radio Network, part of the Equine Network family.
Greetings, everyone. Coach Jen here, and thanks for tuning in to Horse Tip Daily, episode 1472. Today's episode is an excerpt from the Dressage Radio Show featuring Lauren Sprieser with a great visual, yes, a visual on an audio podcast of what bend is and what it isn't. And I'd like to say thank you to Spalding Fly Predators, sponsor of today's show.
I wanted to talk today about bend, because bend is a really, oft misunderstood concept, I think. First, let's get some vocabulary down. Bend is in the horse's ribs. Bend is primarily in the horse's ribs. It is the horse contracting the abdominal and top line muscles on one side to wrap the horse's abdomen, basically, around the rider's leg. Flexion is the position of the pole, and as a result, a little bit the neck into or away from the direction of travel. I can have inside bend with very little inside flexion, but it is extremely easy to have flexion with no bend. And where I think the great majority of my students get bumfuzzled is that they think bend is in the neck, or they think that by taking the horse's neck to the inside, that is sufficient, bless you, for bend. And this is both inside and outside, by the way, but it is very easy to pull on the reins. It is a lot less easy to create bend around the leg, and so people pull on the reins, and that's that. So now let's talk about how we ask for bend. Let's talk about how we ask for inside bend, simply because that'll clarify the language. Inside bend is simply putting your inside leg on and asking the horse to lift the inside rib cage up into the inside butt cheek, the rider's inside butt cheek, inside hip, inside thigh. If you imagine being on the ground, lying on your side, and doing an oblique sit-up, your upper body comes off of the floor towards the ceiling by compressing your inside rib cage towards your inside hip. That's pretty easy when your outside is on the floor, because you can't bow your outside down into the hard surface of the floor. What is easy for a horse to do is to, compress the inside rib cage, but expand the outside rib cage. And there, I compare that to a human standing on their own 2 feet and, bending laterally to the side. In order, you can compress your inside rib cage down towards your inside hip and stay relatively short through your outside rib cage to outside hip, or you can open up that outside and get a good stretch. Both are valuable. And for horses, thinking of bend in both of those ways, there's a time and a place for it. Now let's talk about how one actually achieves that bend. The inside leg goes on. And I personally think about using the boning of my boot or the tip of my spur. This is why I don't tend to ride in very sharp spurs, because I need to be able to sort of hook that more precise pressure low on the horse's abdomen and draw my heel up. Draw my heel up and let that be sort of the point around which my horse bends. But that's not the only thing I'm doing. My outside leg is a presence in this story. My outside leg is slightly behind my inside leg. And it is present in what I call a guarding position, a guarding leg. It's not like I'm on gripping, telling my horse something. It's simply present like a bumper in a bowling alley. The bumper in a bowling alley doesn't guarantee you a strike. It just prevents you from falling in the gutter.
Especially with performance horses, flies can really be a nuisance. Fly predators are a great investment. Of all the different poisons and insecticides and different things you could use, I don't know of anything that is more economical and more effective than Spalding fly predators.
Well, there you have it. Horse Radio Network has thousands of engaging podcasts for horse people, and you can have them sent right to your phone. Just subscribe via your favorite podcast player. This is Coach Jen, and I will be back again soon with another tip. Until then, go ride your horse. The Horse Radio Network and the Horse Radio Network hosts are not responsible for statements made by guests on the Horse Tip Daily. Please use your own judgment when listening to the tips on this show.